they've been working to kind of talk to each other, and some of them have been asking y'all, well, what do y'all think we should do? What do y'all think we should do? And what I'm excited most about is that they have suggestions for every single month. So there's a suggested activity for every single month. And so what they want to do today is present it to you all, the student body, to where y'all can have some final conversations and make some finalizations. I will tell you that I think suggestions will be taken until this Friday. And then after this Friday, whatever is listed is going to be set in stone, if you will, for next year. And so the reason why this has to happen is in order for us to accurately get the senior dues conversation going and getting that money together, as well as reserving the locations, planning to order the food and thing, we have to know now what y'all want to do for next year. So I hope that your ears are open as well as your eyes. And then we're going to talk a little bit about senior dues, but that information will come definitely in great detail with accurate value once we finalize everything with everyone's opinions by the end of this week. And then we'll finish out with some Q&A and all that good stuff. So that was the welcome, the run through of what we're having. I want to turn it over to Miss Webster, who is with Diamond Travel Agency, and she's going to talk to you guys about all of what she's researched in regards to the most cost-effective moms and dads, but also the most memorable and engaging senior trip for y'all. So without further ado, Miss Webster.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone? Oh, no one speaks back. Can y'all hear me?
We're good.
Hello. Okay, thank you. All right. I'm Miss Webster, and I see some of my former students. Hello, how are you doing? What I am going to do is, if I can, I'm going to share, if I can, present my screen. So I can get you all to look at. All right. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay. So when I received a phone call from Dr. Evans, she asked that I do to present you guys with two options to look in reference to a senior class trip for 2023. So one of the ones was a cruise, and the other one would be a all-inclusive resort in Cancun, Mexico. All right. So with the cruise, June 8th, that leaves on a Thursday through June the 12th. You guys will port out of New Orleans, and you will have one stop, and that will be Cozumel. You're there the entire day. And then you're on the way back. How many of you all have been on a cruise before? About how many? Okay. All right. Okay, great. Okay, so this is what we call a 4-day cruise. This is a 4-day cruise. I've been on this particular cruise before, and very nice. A nice cruise. The boat is lovely. The boat is nice. There are different activities on the boat. They have karaoke. They have a comedy show. The pool area is really nice. So here's here. So looking at this would be the cost of the cruise. Okay. Now, this double occupancy means 2 people in the room. You have an interior, which means you have no windows. It's just a cabin. The ocean view, you have a porthole. It's just a circle hole that you could see out of and see the water. Now, with this price, it is a non-refundable of $100. And what is not included in this, because it will be a student cruise, there is a damage deposit of $100 per person for all guests under 21. If there are no damages in that cabin, then that amount will be refunded to you. This does not include transportation to New Orleans like a chartered bus, and it does not include excursion once you get to Cozumel. But when I tell you, once you get to Cozumel, you don't really have to have an excursion because there are shops around, there are eating places. You want to kind of experience the meals and the market that's there. So this is the cruise. This is the information for the cruise. All right. Now, and here's the payment schedule for the cruise. This will be the payment schedule, I'm sorry, for the cruise. Start early, and every 2 months, 2 to 3 months, what normally happens is once if you all decide that, hey, this is the cruise that we want to do a cruise, and that's even with the other trip as well, you will pay a deposit, and I will send statements when the amount is due, the next payment is due. One thing about the cruise is that the price is locked in. There's nothing else that you have to pay for because it doesn't include air. Now, the all-inclusive resort, Cancun, Mexico. This date will be June 8th through June 13th. Now, the prices that you see is only the resort only. The reason being is because it is too early to price air. We will not know air rates until about August the 1st. So, comparing the prices, the cruise is the least expensive of the all-inclusive, and with the all-inclusive, it's the least price. So we won't know the full cost until August the 1st, which that's putting behind like the 8 ball, in not putting it behind, but you won't be able, you can book your room now, but and we can add the air later, but we won't know the cost of the air. No one would know that until it is published, and that would be around August the 1st. This cost does not include airfare. It does not include transportation to New Orleans, nor does it include excursions. This particular resort is a beautiful resort. It is, they have 12 restaurants. They have 5 pools. It's a very nice. I actually visit this this resort in June of this past year. Here's the payment schedule. And again, this is just resort only. Just resort only. Just resort only. Again, you receive a payment when it's time to pay that particular amount. Now, the amenities. This is like comparing the all-inclusive to the cruise. Round-trip airfare is not included. Ground transportation for the all-inclusive is included in that price. It includes your accommodations. It includes all your meals. Beverages, all-inclusive. This is the part, it does include all of your drinks. The cruise, it does not include, I have no alcohol. Okay. Room service, it includes that, your entertainment, your taxes, your gratuities, your fitness center, and it does include your insurance. If you want to do spa, that will be additional. Vaccination and COVID test requirements for the cruise. You must be vaccinated and you must provide a COVID test. The resort is vaccination is not required, but you do have to provide a COVID test for 48 hours before departure, and that should have been to return back to the United States. Everyone that is, if you're out the country, in order to get back in the U.S., you must provide a COVID test. Testing is done on site at the resort. And if it's this time, the cost is $40 per person. There's my contact information.
All right. So do we have any questions for Ms. Webster regarding specifically what she presented as far as the options for the senior trips?
There was one in the chat, Miss Chapman, regarding who will be chaperoning, and it will be a parent chaperone trip unless staff choose to volunteer.
And so if you're interested in chaperoning, you know, that just would mean you would have to cover the cost of your child as well as yourself. Oh, and what I also did say is that we're gonna send out her information. She is gonna we'll have the PowerPoint sent to y'all so you can review it because it is a little bit to digest really quickly. And so if you have any questions between now and then, you can email them back to me and I'll get them answered for you. But we are making a final decision on where we're going as well as the senior year events by this Friday. So for the students, I'll send out Google Forms. Y'all know I do those all the time. And from there, we'll say, okay, you know, this one or that one, as well as the other events. So no one has any questions for Ms. Webster?
Amina asked about the date.
Amina's asking, is the date in June for the trip final?
The date will be based on you guys providing that to me. That was a suggested date.
But for the cruise, that date, those dates are set, right?
That's the price for that particular date.
Right.
Because as we get further along, then they're going to turn into 5-day cruises because they kind of alternate.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Any final questions? All right. Well, Ms. Webster, we'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for doing the hard work that several of our students were attempting to do themselves in regards to finding something that was all inclusive and that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for your time, and then we'll let you know as we get our final information or final things decided at the end of this week.
Okay, thank you so much, and you guys have a great evening.
All right, thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I'm sure you're going to have the deposit paid in order to hold your spot. The way it's set up, I think she just has it kind of chunked to help chip away at it. But I'm absolutely confident that you have to pay the deposit. No, no exceptions to that. But yeah, if it's due on a particular day, it may be that way. But we'll ask her, and I'll have a definitive answer to you by Friday.
She put on the PowerPoint the payment schedule, and you have to be paid like 2 months in advance. And so I think this is having like the final payment due in March because you all paid like at least 2 months before. So the deposits will be paid this school year, not before we know the final grades, because we, in case some students don't return next year, we don't want to have that you have paid a deposit and then you choose, I'm going to my home school or I'm moving to Florida. But the final payments will be due right before the end of the school year. So I think she has them set for March.
Yes, ma'am. If I saw correctly, I want to say it was March the 1st.
I see March.
The last payment.
I took some screenshots. One of them, the cruise would be due March the 1st, and then the all-inclusive is March 15th.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. But we're going to have all that sent to y'all, and then I will ask specifically that question for you, Ms. Vaughn. All right, so now moving on to Ms. Fleming. Ms. Fleming has a couple of high points that I'm sure that y'all are going to want to hear about in regards to next year.
Hi, everyone. It's Ms. Fleming here. If you all saw like a few days ago, probably like a week or two, I started sending you all information about scholarships. So that time is coming up. Most applications open August 1. There will be a couple that open before that. I think like Mississippi State and Ole Miss might open a little bit before that window in the summer. So please start looking at the colleges that you would like to choose from. TECHS is always an option, with it being, guaranteed that your credits will transfer. There is full tuition on the table, as well as if you qualify for like Phi Theta Kappa or other scholarship opportunities, that could be full tuition waived. I think a full tuition and room and board, room and board, when I said full tuition, room and board is a 28 on the ACT. So please be on lookout for that. Some students are worried about early release. For early release, you need at least an 17 in English and a 19 in math on the ACT. It could be any test. So say you already have the 17, at least a 17 in English, and you're just working towards increasing your math score. That is fine. It just choose the highest of whichever test you take to get that score, that sub score that's needed. Recommendations. It is important to start, getting familiar with people that will write your recommendations, your personal statements. Not all schools require personal statements, but it's a good time to start on that early, so it's not in the senior year and you're doing your major courses and then having to write a personal statement during that time as well. So again, you want to start narrowing down your college choices. If you know the young lady who has almost 6 million scholarships, she applied to a lot of different colleges. She used the Common App, as well as the Black College app, and then she applied directly to some colleges. So you can get application fee waivers for those if they accept them, no matter what the school or where the location is. I would still try to at least do the fee waiver, and if they can choose to accept it or not. But with Common Application, those are free, and our district also uses that through Major Clarity. So if you just want to apply to colleges for free and that application fee be waived, please get in touch with me. I can give you an application fee waiver. And you can also start applying to colleges at that time as well. And you can start your Common App application now. There is like a personal statement essay that you have to, and the application is lengthy. So again, you can start on that, and it says that you'll be ready for applications in 2023 school year. So you can start on that now. Some other things. I think as we get closer to the dates, we'll start talking about financial aid. Make sure you do your FAFSA and applying for the HELP grant with your Mississippi aid. That's a 20 on the ACT at least, and meet financial need. And you can get that 20 all the way up into July of the year that you're graduating if you don't have it before then. So those are all things that are available to you. But we'll talk more about that because it opens October 1. As we get closer to that date. I think that's all that I have. I hope I'm not missing anything. But again, now start researching colleges. Financial, what are your parents willing to pay? If you're working now, are you saving money for college? Will you take out loans? Those are all things that are a very important way. TECHS is always an option. I know you might want to leave, but if that's an affordable option, your credits will transfer, you will get a great education, and then you can go off and get your master's or your medical degree. And TECHS has a lot of partnerships as far as law and medical school, and it's not just for doctors. They do have a partnership with dentistry as well, and nursing. We will have on next week the medical field from the students from UMC to present about options you have in the medical field. So if you are able to come out for that, please do. Again, that's all that I have, and I'll still be here for questions if you have any. Academic counseling sessions, this how we are rounding up. They'll be very short. All we're talking now is that the students are finishing up their last requirements, which is college and career readiness. And then the ACT score, make sure you're meeting the requirements for your distinguished or academic endorsement. So that is Ms. Fleming.
Thank you, Ms. Fleming.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I want to just add to that. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I hope that the students will share any information with others who may have missed today's meeting. In addition to TECHS, I want to talk about the purpose of the early college. The early college program is to expose students to the collegiate environment and help them earn college credits up to 2 years or an associate's degree. Not every student will get an associate's degree. Not every student needs the associate's degree. There are some that you can use right away, like early childhood, where you could leave if you pass the licensure exam, and you could be a certified daycare director. But other than that, you're going to need 2 more years at least to finish your bachelor's to do something with the degree. The goal is to get the college credits that will lend itself to less time in the bachelor's degree program that you select. So I want to make that clear and get rid of the stigma about students who don't get the AA degree. Now, do we hope everybody gets it? Sure. But if you don't, you still get all those credits. The goal also of the early college is to make sure that you can go to college without having to pay. So at Tougaloo, because of the agreement that we have reached with them, the tuition is waived. That means if you stay at home and you are a commuter, you don't have to pay any money to go to Tougaloo. So that is a waiver. That means everybody right now has 100% scholarship for tuition at Tougaloo College if you finish in the early college program. That doesn't mean if you get the AA degree. That means if you complete your senior year with us, you can go to Tougaloo for free. That's priceless. Then if you meet the other criteria like Phi Theta Kappa, that information is going to be based on at Christmas time of your senior year. So you need to have a 3.5 or above GPA by senior year Christmas time. If you don't have that, you won't be in Phi Theta Kappa, and you have boxed yourself out of that scholarship. So that means the grades that you make now matter, and the grades you make next semester, because you only got this semester and next semester to qualify for that. Now, if Tougaloo is not an option, Belhaven is doing 40% off for JPS graduates. We took a group of students there, I think, last month. Belhaven is an extremely nice campus. For my people who are interested in the arts, but they haven't been able to really do it since we've been in Tougaloo, they have a very great arts department as well. But 40% off, plus you get financial aid and whatever other scholarships you get. The 40% off does not include any other scholarship. So that's a wonderful opportunity as well for some of you if Tougaloo doesn't have your major. So that's something to think about as well. So I talked about Belhaven, I talked about Tougaloo, I talked about your GPA, I talked about attendance. If you're going to miss class, you have to inform the professors before. You really have to work not to miss the classes, because when you miss the class, you miss information. Final exams start on the 21st and the 22nd of this month. That means you should be scheduling office hours with professors, following up, not missing any assignments, asking to make up assignments you have missed, because you only have until April the 20th to address those grades. It's not going to be a Dr. Evans or Mrs. Chapman or Ms. Fleming decision about you being able to continue. Tougaloo has said if you make 1D, you cannot continue. The graces that were given for the first semester, where you can go before the review committee, that does not exist second semester. That's only the first semester of your junior year. So if you don't have all C's or above, then you will know that you have to return to your home school on next year. And there's nothing we can do. The things we can do about it are right now. So let's fix it and don't have those grades. Make sure that you're copying Ms. Fleming on those email, and that you're attentive in class. And if they're virtual, have your camera on and engage. In office hours, read the materials, then go and ask questions. Office hours are not for them to lecture you. They are to clarify misconceptions. So make sure that you do that you stay on top of that. Now, did you all talk about and in terms of the senior year, the purpose for today, we wanted to be able to plan early. This group has already expressed interest, and we want our senior year to be full of events. And we want to make sure that we can help coordinate those so that it is the best year of high school yet. And so those things cost money. And so we need people to be aware of those costs so we can make informed decisions. When we send out the survey tomorrow about your interest in these trips, there will be something that will say other. Maybe neither one of those work. Maybe you don't feel good about a cruise. Maybe you don't want something international. Maybe we need to find something locally. Then we need to know that, because we need to make a definitive decision so that people can begin paying on it on next month. Make sure that student drivers, as you're looking for a college, be aware is some colleges don't allow students to take a car their first year. So make sure that if that's an important thing to you, I'm going to have my car, and then you pick a college, you pick Spelman, and they don't allow you to have a car your first year, or I think at one point Mississippi State wasn't. I don't know what they're doing now. Those are things to be aware of. You want to be aware of class size. Do you want 300 people in your class and you don't know your professor? Or like at Tougaloo, where there might be 15 or 17 in the class and you do know your professors. Though, where you can get help directly from that person and not a teacher assistant. If you're interested in sports, does the college have that sport or do they not? So those are the things that you need to be thinking about. Class size, major, is the major accredited in the college that you're looking for, and make sure. Oh, scholarships. This is the last thing I had to say. It is good to get scholarship offers from a lot of colleges. That's good, but you still only can accept one. So if I get 5,000 scholarships, I only can take one. So because those from colleges directly. The outside scholarships we need to be applying for, because you can take them to any school. So I would rather you all have a lot of scholarships that can be applied at that one school, like Coca-Cola, Google, or Dollar General, or Target has a scholarship, or Chick-fil-A, or they have scholarships if your parent is in the military, or if they're a firefighter, or if you have red hair. I mean, just you got to Google scholarships for leaders or people who do community service. Those kinds of scholarships you can stack up at one school, and then you'll be able to keep the residual. So if you come to Tougaloo and you get Phi Theta Kappa and everything's paid for, but you have gotten $75,000 in outside scholarships, you keep $75,000. But if you get $1 million of scholarships at 22 schools, you only gonna accept one. So you won't keep 900,000 and whatever. You gonna only get the scholarship for that one college. So be looking for, yes, apply at all these colleges, but then just apply for outside scholarships so that you can take that money with you wherever you intend to go. All right, that's all I have. Miss Chapman, Mrs. Chapman.
All right, thank you, Dr. Evans. So I'm gonna turn it over to y'all's ladies of leadership, Tania and Mackenzie, and they're gonna walk us through the suggested activities for all of next year. Ladies.
Hi guys. Today we're just gonna talk to y'all about the senior monthly plans ideas that we have, and y'all know y'all can contact us. We have a Google form that we're gonna send to y'all after this, where y'all can just put in more ideas if y'all have any, and you can change the slide, Tanya. At the beginning of the year in August, we're gonna have a pool party / barbecue. It's not school sponsored. Someone already said that they were gonna try to get like an Airbnb or something like that. Then we're gonna have a senior breakfast at another Broken Egg, like the first day of school or something like that. And we're gonna welcome the underclassmen on the first day of school, to let them know that we're family, basically, that they could come to us anytime. We're gonna have a fundraiser in August, supposedly. We don't know what it's gonna be, so that'll be to be announced. The next slide. We were talking about an all-white Labor Day party in September, a day of service like feeding the homeless or any other act of service that y'all would have. Like if y'all have any more ideas other than feeding the homeless. A college tour. We don't know which college we're gonna go to, and y'all can give those ideas too about like colleges y'all want to visit. In October, we were talking about a Halloween costume party or a night out at the Honey House in Florence, Mississippi. We can determine which one we want to do, because it seems like we're having a lot of parties, but they really not parties. We're gonna try to do a pancake drive. Some students said that Applebee's does that, but we don't know yet. Mm-hmm. So we'll just see. Mom just said they do. And we also said we're gonna host the Honey House or have like a fall festival for the JTECHS students where they will like pay to get in and stuff like that. So we could collect funds since we don't have any funds. To the next slide. November, we're gonna have Friendsgiving where you share food, but we're gonna have it like catered. We're not gonna do like a potluck or nothing like that. And another college tour. We don't know which college yet, so just suggest. And then in December, we're gonna have Sticker Santa, hot cocoa, and art day party, and a day of service. And y'all can suggest what y'all want to do for community service because we have to get our hours up for college. And I think that one is for you, Tanya.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll start off the spring semester with a New Year's party, and the details regarding that will be finalized once we decide that's what we're doing. And we'll also have a neon party, but this will be open to all JTech students, not just seniors. Then we'll participate in an escape room, just the senior class. And for February, we'll have a paintballing activity, a movie night, which is available to all JTech students, and a bonfire, which is just for seniors. Now in March, we're going to participate in Dr. Seuss Week at some elementary schools as a form of community service. We'll have Powerpuff Girl flag football, which will be available to all JTech students. And in April, we'll get to the senior activities like the senior picnic, senior week, and the senior banquet. And then in May, we'll have our TECHS graduation and a community service day with any type of community service, and a job shadow week or intern week, so you can find job shadow opportunities or internship opportunities that you can do for that week. And we'll have our interview activities for JTECHS. We'll also have a convocation, which is like a JTECH celebration, and for our seniors, and we'll have high school graduations for JPS. And we'll finish that off with a graduation party. And in June, we'll have our senior trip, which is to be decided. And we have been asked to prepare a senior gift as the class of 23, something that we kind of leave behind. So that's pretty much it. And if you have any more ideas about activities or college tours or something that you want to do, I'll put the Google form in the chat.
Thank you, ladies. That was excellent. One thing that I do love is that y'all remember to add in all of the community service events, because y'all do need to make sure that y'all have your hours. So thank y'all, because I forgot about that when we were talking about it. They have put in the chat the form where you can add your suggestions as well as your feedback and what's happening. I think that I can tell y'all that they have been working with several of y'all's classmates really, really hard on that. And I think that the months are the perfect balance of things that we need to do and we have to do, as well as having a lot of fun. And so once we can get the year's calendar finalized, then parents, we can send the information regarding for these events, these are the things that we need. These are the estimated costs for getting locations or getting food catered if the students say that they want the food catered, as well as the things in regards to our senior week. And what else, Dr. Evans? Because there's certain things that will cost money. And so once we get all that perfectly laid out, we can give a closer estimate. I do know that, what else did we talk about with them, Dr. Evans? I can't remember now.
I just want to say that I want to thank the ladies for presenting, but I do want to say that those are recommendations, and we want to get feedback from the entire class before we solidify and then actually look at the calendar to see how feasible those specific activities are for that month. You know, we don't want to interfere with state testing or other requirements that we might have on the district side. I think the main thing is to make sure that you all stay involved. When you stay involved, next year people will most likely be, some people, what we have seen, they start working and they get less involved in school. You only have one time to be in high school, and you're not going to be remembering, oh, I remember when I worked at Chick-fil-A or at Walmart or whatever. You want to be able to remember these kinds of activities because this is the time for that. And so I'm asking you to prioritize school because now is the season for school. So that's the main thing. Stay engaged, parents, stay engaged, and let's really make this a wonderful one. You show the rest of the classes how a senior year should be done. And that's what I want. I want you to show them what an excellent senior year looks like. And I think that'll be one of the best gifts you can leave to the school. So thank you all so much for being here. And I'll turn it back over to you, ladies, to wrap it up.
All right. So do we have any final questions before we close out? Yes, Miss Avery.
So I know when we were like initially going over like fundraising ideas to like fund all of this, that we were like we didn't have like an account or anything. So like, is there a way we could like talk about how that would be handled?
We will work with the academic support club to have the account, and then the funds for the seniors where it will be earmarked just for seniors. So if you all do a senior fundraiser, that money won't go to anybody else. It'll only go for senior activities. But it's also gonna go toward the people who actually do the fundraising.
So, in other words, to super clarify what Dr. Evans just said, um, we want everyone to fundraise to cut down the cost of all the things that you all want to do. And so if you want the senior dues number to go down, then that means you need to fundraise. So make sure that when the information is, solidified, that you are calling everybody you know to get as many nickels and dimes as you can to make sure that it just helps offset the cost. Yes, Miss Frazier? Miss Frazier?
Miss Chapman, did they already give you suggestions about the fundraisers?
I think we have some of them. Miss Frazier, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I think that was a mistake. Did I wave my hand or something?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't able to access the Google form, and I don't know if it's because I'm on my phone or not, but it said I needed permission.
I think it's set for if you're logged
The
in as a
student.
JPS student, it's set for
Okay,
the students
gotcha.
to do the commentary.
All right, thank you.
But then Tania just put in the chat to try the link that she just popped in there. And then so Dr. Evans, what you're saying is review the fundraising ideas.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, ladies, can y'all share the fundraising ideas that I think we discussed possibly really quickly, but we talked about some of them?
Yes, ma'am. So we have World's Finest Chocolate, like what Mackenzie said, pancakes at Applebee's. We have the deserts in the co-op, a skating rink, a balloon pop fundraiser, a basket raffle bingo fundraiser, a push and pee party, a paint party, a pie your favorite senior fundraiser, and a walkathon fundraiser. Those are some of our ideas.
So it sounds like some of the fundraisers are senior sponsored student activities where the students have to pay, but then there are some to where we'll need a lot of parent support in order to do like the raffle, as well as if World's Finest Chocolate is an option, or the pancake day where you do breakfast at whatever location, and you get people to come in and buy.
I
Are there
think we
any?
have been advised legally to stay away from those pancake days because of liability. You in the kitchen. That we need to, I think they have some other options that were good.
Oh, never mind. We didn't say it. No pancakes for us. Any other questions? Anyone? All right. So the silence means it's time for us to go. Um, so
The
check
next
your
meeting, Miss Chapman. When's the
yeah.
next meeting?
So let's see. I do want y'all to make sure that y'all check y'all's email tomorrow morning for the presentation, different links and things like that, so you can make informed decisions. How about we meet? You want us to meet after state testing, Dr. Evans? Is that okay? Because we're
We need
close
to.
on
No,
testing.
we
Or you
probably
want to
need to
be
be
down?
before that because the deposits are due on the 20th.
Ooh,
So I think we need to keep like we do with the seniors now, once a month, and go ahead and
okay.
try to meet maybe the first Monday in May.
Okay, so the first Monday in May is the second, and that is in that testing gap. So that's a perfect day. So if y'all go ahead and mark out May the 2nd, which is a Monday at 6 p.m., we'll send out the invitation for that as well. And at this time, we should be able to present the finalized senior year experience schedule. Also review what was decided in regards to the senior trip, and make sure that everyone has whatever accounts they need for that to pay their deposit. Because you said the deposits are due May the 20th. Let me write that down before I forget. May the 20th. And then we'll be able to kind of set things up that way. So if no one else has any questions, as a reminder, our next meeting is going to be May the 2nd at 6 p.m. And we will see y'all then. Make sure you check your emails in the morning and make sure you respond to the ladies on the Google form. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for y'all time.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.